But first, new at 5, threatened with physical violence by the father of the Oxford High School shooter. Prosecutor Karen McDonald saying she was undeterred in fighting for victims' families. Thank you for being with us today at 5. I'm Glenda Lewis.
And I'm Brian Abel. Today, Karen McDonald addressed that and other new revelations since a guilty verdict came down from a second jury. Just last week, the shooter's father was found guilty on 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. His wife found guilty on the exact same charges just last month.
And today and every day, we remember and honor the lives of Tate Meir, Madison Baldwin, Hannah St. Juliana, and Justin Schilling.
7 Action News reporter Simon Shakett shows us what more unfolded behind the scenes of the historic trial involving the first parents charged in a school mass shooting.
Today, Karen McDonald talking about her case and a guilty verdict against James Crumbley, the father of the Oxford High School shooter. She's also talking about letters given to 2 key witnesses and threats made against her.
I'm not going to let anything stop me from prosecuting and advocating for victims.
In a sit-down interview covering a range of topics following 2 separate jury trials and guilty verdicts against James and Jennifer Crumbley, Prosecutor Karen McDonald opening up about what's taken place since the deadly school shooting at Oxford High in November 2021. Both parents convicted of involuntary manslaughter for failing to secure a gun used by their son and to give ordinary care to get him help, resulting in the deaths of 4 students and others wounded.
It's about those victims. It's about those kids.
In court, McDonald personally demonstrated just one of the safeguards parents could have used but didn't.
I'm not an expert in firearms, but it took me around 10 seconds to apply the cable lock.
Since the end of trial, McDonald has confirmed threats made by James Crumbley from jail were directed at her. And while she stopped short of publicly releasing them, I asked and was granted a chance to hear them off camera. Crumbley stating he was coming for the prosecutor and referencing her going to hell.
He actually said that. He hoped I was listening. He hoped I was listening when he threatened me physically. One of the most disturbing threats was January of 24. So that was actually the same month that the first day of trial was set for.
Professor of law at University of Detroit Mercy and former federal prosecutor Adam Wright also adding this to steps taken to keep everyone safe in court.
The way that Karen McDonald handled this was exactly the right way. Sheriff's office handled this situation exactly as it should have been handled.
In court, prosecutors asked for a court order limiting Crumbley to only communicating with his attorney. Also, I asked McDonald about letters given to a counselor and a dean of students who gave key testimony.
Is there any agreement in place with anyone that they will not be prosecuted?
You know, the media reports or anyone reporting that there was some agreement, they're just absolutely false. We comply with the court rules and the case law to a T. The only thing required to give to the defense, and rightly so, I stand by that, I insist that our assistant prosecutors do that, is any agreement we've made with a witness that gives them a plea deal or immunity in exchange for their testimony under oath to prove our case. That was not done.
I also asked and verified that with the counselor's attorney.
There's nothing in the proffer agreement that says that the person providing the proffer will not be prosecuted.
Does a prosecutor have a duty to disclose to the criminal defense that a proffer letter was provided to your client?
No. If there was an immunity agreement, yes, but a proffer letter, no.
As for how this case could spark more change, McDonald says she's not done supporting the Oxford families, but wants families across the country to know.
Most of us do not need to be told that if you're called to the school and you see, help me, blood everywhere, the world is ending, with a gun drawn that precisely matches the gun that you had just purchased for your troubled son, and you never tell them that you did it, and then when asked to get him help, you just leave. Most of us don't need a message like that.
We have filed a Freedom of Information Act request for recordings of those threats and copies of the letters given to those key witnesses. It is currently being reviewed. From Pontiac, Simon Shakett, 7 Action News.
And the defense attorney for the father of the shooter is responding to the alleged threats. In a statement, Marielle Lehman says, quote, "We continue to disagree with the prosecution's characterization of the phone conversations with James and decline further comments."
And as we speak of the father's defense attorney, 7 investigator Heather Catallo sitting down with her tonight on Action News at 6.
Why she says he did not take the stand and hear her message to the Oxford community. That's all tonight at 6.